Now, I'm slightly torn on these sorts of stories because they're always told emotionally, not thoughtfully or intellectually, from the point of view of the poor disabled person who has been suffering all of their lives. So this is a new invention in the UK about smart glasses, allowing those darn deaf people to see conversations with subtitles. Now, subtitles is not the correct term. The subtitles are for translating from one language into another, English, American Sign Language, English written. I don't think it's the right term. Smart glasses allow deaf people to view. Captioned conversations is a better title for me. And as we look at this story, I am reminded of Google Glass, which turned out to be a giant flop. Was supposed to do the same thing. Listen to the environment around you and caption it and put it in your glass. Never happened. Then there are these contraptions that some movie houses have if you go see a live movie. Although I don't know if I would ever want to use one of those again. If I were deaf in a theater, Jana has used it, liked it. With monkeypox and COVID, and they give you a set of glasses, sort of, that has a transmitter, and you put it on, and it kind of captions what's being said on the screen. And Jenna liked it, but it was big, technologically clunky, and honestly, this was 2 or 3 years ago, really filthy. They did not clean the glasses between users. Commissioner Gordon Davidescu, founder, Gordon says, these glasses at least look like glasses and not give one the appearance of the Borg, as the Google Glass did. Very true. The ones in the movie theaters are very ugly, very clunky. And I tried them on, and they did work. Better than nothing. But as I said, they were not very sanitary. And in the new world of pandemics and COVID, I guess you could bring your own cleaning towels and, clean it up with a wipe or something, but it has a lot of wires and a great big battery and a transmitter. I don't know. But when you want to see a big movie, and that's your only choice to put on the contraption, you put on the contraption. So here's the story from the UK. I'm sharing this because it's sort of interesting, but also just slightly disgusting. The glasses have voice recognition that can identify speech. A pair of augmented reality smart glasses will now allow deaf people to see conversations in real time. Isn't it clever? X-ray glasses. X-ray 1 glasses, I think that's an I. X-ray glasses uses augmented reality to convert audio into captions that appear in front of the eyes of those who wear the glasses. The first of its kind? Not really. Smart glasses are tethered to a phone and aims to enable the deaf community to engage in everyday conversations. The glasses have voice recognition that can identify speech. Now, I don't believe it's the glasses. I believe it's the phone it's tied to. That can even identify speech, and the company hopes to develop the technology to translate languages. It is planning to reach 70,000 of people by the end of 2023. And here we go. The company shared a video of a deaf woman trying the glasses for the very, very first time, and her delight at seeing the technology in action. Diana, who uses sign language to communicate, blown away by the text appearing on the glasses in front of her, and she says she is honored. And the caption of the video says, "Deaf person breaks down in tears when trying smart glasses with subtitled speech." I will discuss that in a moment. I guess this is her crying. We are so proud of the ability of this innovative technology to enrich the lives of poor deaf people who have hearing loss, so they can maximize their potential. Whether that means being able to have a conversation while continuing to make dinner, or keeping a conversation going while walking with a friend. The British company has partnered with AI company Enreal to create consumer-ready AR glasses. X-ray glasses, here you go. They're going to cost you £400. And then you pay £35 a month. Or maybe that's the payment plan. So, here are my issues with this. I think it's wonderful technology. I think it's great. I think the whole thing is skewed to impress hearing people, not deaf people, because deaf people are very smart and they know that this is not going to work as advertised. First of all, it's relying on the iPhone to do the translation. Probably Google Translation, which works very well. I've used it many times to speak to people who speak Chinese, German, on the street, where we live, big city, you meet a lot of people. And you can actually speak into the Google app that translates, and it translates it into a language, and will even speak that language as if you were speaking to them in real time. So they're using proprietary software and technology that does not belong to them. It belongs to your iPhone, which is good. That's fine. I just wish they'd make that clear. So what they're doing is either plugging in or Bluetoothing, but I believe it has to be a wire, because Bluetooth is not going to be able to handle that kind of text. Plugging into the iPhone, and then the glasses are showing the words on the screen that are being translated. So this is not a professional translation. Environment is very, very sticky and very, very picky. I do not believe that these glasses would work outside on a walk with your friend. There are too many environmental sounds around. Now, maybe they have technology where the iPhones can speak to each other, or the friend could speak into her iPhone, and then it gets translated into the friend's iPhone into her glasses. But just having a general open walking conversation, a natural conversation like that hearing people have walking down the street, this technology is not able to handle that, I guarantee you. Now, these look like sunglasses and not regular glasses, which is probably because they need to have a little bit of a dark background so you can see the text, because you're out in bright sunlight. So wearing sunglasses inside while making dinner? Okay. Some people might say a little weird. The glasses you use when you're in the movie theater is dark. And the captions have kind of a shading behind them, so when you watch the bright light of the flickering screen, you can actually read the captions. Now, 6 months ago, we did a story on how they were bringing captions to contact lenses. New technology. Deaf people crying all over the world, as the contact is proven to work. So they have this contact they put over your eye that's linked to something, because the glasses, the contact, cannot do the heavy processing of the translation. So you're relying on something else to do it, which is fine because deaf people rely on an interpreter, something else to interpret for them normally. So that's part of their culture. That's fine. And the captioning contact is they can see it on their eye. They don't have to wear glasses. They don't have to be tethered to anything. Okay, great idea. Tested it, allegedly. Lots of crying, lots of weeping, lots of PR. Oh, where are they? 3 or 4 months ago, we did an article right here on this Boles.tv live stream. It's BOLES.tv, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. And this thing, wired a phone. And you plugged your phone into this mask, because we're in COVID times, right? And this mask had an LED panel across the front. And whatever that person spoke was printed in an LED screen, scrolling screen, in sort of real time. Deaf people crying all over the world for the mask. Now, that was sort of interesting technology that they demonstrated and saw was working. But there you go. It's for hearing people to maybe help deaf people. But the question is, who's getting the mask? Who's paying for the mask? Who's paying for the technology to plug into the mask? And how are deaf people going to get hearing people to put that mask on? It's very difficult right now, even in the sort of aftermath of a pandemic, for a deaf person to ask another deaf person, or even a hearing person, I cannot hear you, even though I might have cochlear implants or hearing aids, I cannot hear you. Would you mind just pulling down your mask just so I could read your lips? Some people will do it. Some people will refuse. Not doing it. And then what do you do? So you think you're going to deal with hearing people and get them to either buy or put on this LED captioning mask. Great proof of concept. Not really real world specific. Now, talking about cochlear implants, there are people who get them, and there are lots of videos online when the cochlear implant is turned on, and the deaf people hear the world around them for the first time, and there is weeping and just thumping. Okay, fine. Natural, real, I don't know. But for hardcore deaf people, it's a little bit sad and disconcerting to see people react that way against who they are. And who they are, if they're a little bit older, if they're 5 years old, 6 years old, they have been in deaf culture and in a deaf community since the day they were born. They may not like it, they may not be aware of it, but their parents and their doctors are very aware of it and want them to become hearing as quickly as possible. Which means cochlear implantation. Now, it used to be, we have to intervene. 5 years old, intervene, get that cochlear implant in there. $56,000, please. Then, no, we have to intervene earlier. 2 years old, put it in. And there are people who say, well, let the child decide. Oh, no, it's too late. The child cannot decide because we are now doing infant implantations of cochlear implants because the child cannot be left behind. But this is false. This is technology. This is not natural. It doesn't matter. We cannot have deaf people. We must implant them at the earliest possible moment. If we could with these women, we would go in and we would do it with their fetuses. We would find out that they are deaf, we would sniff them out, and we would have a constitutional amendment in Kansas saying that all fetuses must be implanted with cochlear implants. Let the deaf begin their weeping. Deaf no more. So there is a cultural conflict with the medical view of deafness. Now, there are deaf people who don't want to be deaf. They don't want to be part of the community. They may have been deaf, but they prefer mainstreaming. They prefer having hearing friends over deaf friends. So some of these deaf people don't get one cochlear implant. They get two. One is not enough. I want to cry twice. And they implant themselves 2 times, which seems very odd to me, because it destroys your cochlea. So if your implant goes bad or gets old or the technology becomes out of date, you can hopefully be able to upgrade it, but maybe not. So that's why they prefer just to do one ear and leave, if there's any left, residual hearing in the other ear for future purposes. But there are some deaf people who say, no, I'm not deaf. I'm hearing. Do you see I have 2 implants in my head? Not a Borg, not a sunglasses wearer. I am a hearing person. And the unfortunate fact is, it's not really true. But what are you going to do when you have hearing people around you saying, look, we need to have some crying here. We have to fix you. You are broken. Your ears don't work. That makes you an inferior person. You will not be successful in the world. So therefore, we are going ahead and doing the fetal implant on you, even though you're only 12 weeks old. Decision made. The gods have fixed you. No need for any smart glasses. No need for any more dumb technology. Because we, the medical profession, have cured deaf culture. And that's the sad reality of the world in which we live. And now we're taking a very brief blood pressure break, returning in a moment.